Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Legs and I would absolutely love it if you love this content, if you want to support me or support the channel, if you would consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing on the videos. It helps the videos to get out there. It lets me know you enjoy the content and it inspires me to keep creating. We are going to get into Big Brother today, day 37. Again, another day that is definitely a bit shorter, and while there was definitely progress and things that happened, I do feel like, again, a lot of these conversations we've kind of heard already, but there was a little bit more solidifying of alliances. There was a little more discussion about, who are we really going to keep? Chelsea versus Brooklyn, Chelsea versus Cam, Angela and Tucker. They even make a final two. So there was definitely some progress within the game. So let's just get on into it. And we will begin with a conversation that was between Angela and Joseph. So Angela is recapping her chat with Brooklyn.
Well, I think not always. I'm asking myself today, if not me, then who? And I think that is a great way to play this game. Yeah. Because it's not,
And earlier in the day, Angela has a little chat with Brooklyn. They're sitting on the couch for a while, just talking about various things. Brooklyn is like out on the couch by herself, reading the Bible, and Angela felt really bad for her. So, Angela does tell Joseph, like, when I saw her sitting on the couch alone, I really felt something. I didn't want her to feel so isolated, like she has nobody. Although I still remember that when I was in that spot, she did not come and talk with me. Now she says, we're not going to be friends or anything outside of this because friends don't really treat each other like that. That's not really my goal or my point with her. But just want to be nice to her. Obviously don't want anybody to feel sad. Now, she also says that she has not really talked with Tucker about anything yet. A lot of people are wondering, where does Tucker's head lie? What does Tucker want to happen this week? But overall, she does ask him, look, like, is it still Brooklyn? And Joseph says, I'm not sure yet. But Quinn did reveal to him that the vote could flip and potentially keep Chelsea against Cam. So Tucker and Angela then have a conversation after that.
Like a Mackenzie, Leah, I think they get along. They do. They were like apparently the ones always up with Matt late. Leah was always there, and then Leah would go to bed, and then it would be Mackenzie and Matt. So
we can do it.
Yeah, I think we need to make those happen.
And in this conversation, they solidify their final two, the unexpected. Okay, now Tucker is suggesting that they bring in another person into this final two, potentially MJ, Joseph, which is funny. Keep in mind, Tucker and Joseph already have their final two, but they both pretend to Angela, because at separate times today, they both pretend that they have nothing. They're keeping it under wraps. Don't think anyone's really fully aware of their final two. And they even possibly consider bringing in Leah to make four. So they're just trying to figure out how they could stack up this additional alliance. Now, Tucker, Angela does say, look, I know we don't always talk a lot of game with one another, but I do really trust you. And Tucker says, yeah, like I trust you too. And, they just go on and on about how they really trust each other. And at one point, Tucker is like, we should probably bring in somebody who sits around long enough that people just don't find them a threat. Someone like T-Core, I was like, T-Core sitting around doing nothing, but she orchestrated the flip last week? I don't know. Interesting. But overall, he does also tell her that Quinn told him everything about all of the stuff, that Quinn has been the one opening his big mouth, spilling the beans about everything. So, yeah. So after this conversation, Angela goes back to Joseph and she talks about the talk with Tucker, and she tells him, look, yeah, Tucker says the target is still Brooklyn. Again, Angela is very unaware that Joseph and Tucker have their own final two where they, of course, talk about this. Now, Angela, very funny. She suggests that they do something, that they link up, and Tucker's like, Joseph's like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I haven't really known Tucker like that. I don't really talk to him like that. So I think for me, I'm going to have to see, like, it was just really funny. Now, Joseph says he knows that Chemo, Tikor, Rubina are a trio, and for that, he wants to be in a 3 with Tucker and Angela and potentially bring in Leah for a possible 4th. They're not sure yet. Now, Joseph tells them that there are many threats ahead, including the 3, that trio that I just mentioned, as well as Tucker and Quinn. And I found that very interesting that he put Tucker's name in there because I was like, wait a minute, is he trying to suck the seeds up for Angela to go for Tucker so he doesn't have to go for Tucker down the line? I don't know. I found that to be very, very interesting. So he does tell, again, Angela that if he gets HOH, he is going to put up Chelsea, Brooklyn, and Cam. So Tikor and Chemo, they have one of their many check-ins of the day, and
That's from my brother. We haven't even had anything, like, nobody said anything.
I
So,
know.
I'm like, what? I know, I've not touched the gym. It was weird. I was trying to take the top earlier in the gym, and maybe because we were around people, maybe because Cam kept coming back and forth. But, like, it felt
they discuss if Joseph is still on board with the plan. Both of them say yes, that they, spoke with him. Now, Chemo asks, said he asked Tucker earlier in the day if things are weird, because remember prior, Chemo was very paranoid. He was like, oh my God, what's going on with Tucker? Like, this Tucker hasn't checked in with me. And, Tucker denied it, whatever. But he also says he didn't really get anything from him. And again, Chemo's on slop. He's paranoid. I feel like every time Chemo gets on slop, he be going out the deep end. So anyway, Joseph and Chelsea have a pretty long conversation. As you know, these two have not really talked like that. So
against you. I know things have been awkward between us,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
But like I said before, I never threw you under the bus to Tucker.
Yeah,
And-
vice versa.
Yeah, and I know, and he confirmed that with me.
Yeah. So that shows I could have easily done that.
No, I
and
know.
that didn't cross my mind.
first off, he says, I never threw your name under the bus to Tucker. And Chelsea says, same, me either, never did that. He says he has nothing against her, but, maybe, of course, after the vote, he felt some type of way when it came to the whole flip, but at this point, he is really good with her. She also says, look, I have nothing against you. You've always been kind to me. Like, I do not dislike you whatsoever. She also reveals that she cares about Tikor and Chemo. I think she's been saying that from day one because she knows those are her numbers. Like, if Chelsea's going to link up with anyone, it's probably going to be the two of them, right? So they both talk about how they found out about the 5 Points Alliance from Tucker. And she also says that Tucker had approached her twice to start an alliance, but she declined both times. And I was like, did we see that? Did we see that? Is that true? Did we see that on the show? I don't know. But anyway, she says at this point she is completely about the 8, and she has always been completely about the 8. And Chelsea told Tucker that she wasn't playing both sides of the house. That was very clear from her vote. That was very clear from who she laid with. And also, she never put the 3 under, threw them under the bus. So that should show and reveal where she lies, who she lies with, what her allegiances are, according to her. Now, she does say she wants to rebuild something with Joseph. And, he says, look, I am happy to vote in any way if the house is shifting, but just let me know. I just want to know that. And also throughout the day, Chelsea said that to many, many people. She said, look, wherever the house is voting, I'm willing to vote. I'm good. I'm cool. She says it to Tikor and Chemo. So we shall see. So Tikor, Chemo, and Rubina also have a conversation.
So I went up, and then like it was already in there, and then T came, but then like everyone went in here.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, no.
It's still annoying though. Sorry.
I was like, okay, that's okay.
No.
I'll just be here.
They believe Chelsea, does not want to get into any heat. Again, I think they were all a bit skeptical of the fact that all of a sudden Chelsea is willing to completely detach from Brooklyn, throw her under the bus. She's telling them everything. Like, I don't even care. I'll vote wherever. Just let me know. Quinn told Tucker if it's Cam versus Chelsea, that Chelsea stays. And Tucker was not upset about that, but he clearly was not happy either. So Tucker is getting some buzz from many different directions that people may want to keep Chelsea, even though he wants to keep Cam, if it's the two of them. So they once again, and Chelsea thinks that she and Brooklyn have they think that Chelsea and Brooklyn have a final two. Everybody thinks that Chelsea and Brooklyn have a final two, because it seems obvious. And I think for Chelsea to be like, we don't have a final two, but like 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day, you and Brooklyn are sitting together, just the two of you guys talking, is crazy. That's like Chemo and T-Core saying, oh, we don't have a final two, even though they sit there and just talk with each other the majority of the time. I think if that's Chelsea's plan, it's not a good plan, but I might, So Quinn says he has a feeling that Brooklyn will win the AI arena, and Joseph says he wants to keep Cam. Supposedly, that's what Chemo says, that Joseph said. So yeah, they're just recanting conversations that they had with Quinn, conversations they had with Joseph in that whole conversation. So Rubina and T-Core then have another conversation after that.
The three of us keeping Chelsea in that scenario is better. I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough motivation for him. So, because he doesn't believe that she wouldn't put him up. Yeah. Well.
And they are talking about how they can convince Tucker and Joseph to keep Chelsea. At this point, Rubina says he's going to need more than just, she's good for our game, she's good for our game, she's not going to come after us. Like, she thinks that Tucker's not going to buy that, which I agree. I think Tucker is very much stuck in his ways, so you need to come with something good. Rubina does feel, though, that Chelsea would side with them if she was still here, and they're debating whether or not to share that Chelsea said she's targeting people specifically that have never been on the block. Now, T-Core is saying the logic to get Chelsea out makes no sense. T-Core, like I said, has completely flipped, I feel like, in her mind. She's like, why would we get out T-Core? Why would we get a T-Core? Why would we get out Chelsea? It makes no sense. Like, I don't understand. And she also does not know where Cam's head at. And remember, T-Core was supposed to talk with Cam a few days ago about where he's at. I think that conversation still has not happened. Now, T-Core wants to have a conversation with the two of them and Tucker to see what we can do. And Rubina asks, do you think Tucker thinks that, like, Cam is a shield for him? T-Core says no. Tucker is so much better at competitions than anybody. That's probably not the case. It's probably just more so that he trusts Cam and he doesn't trust Chelsea for some reason. And they say, look, even if Tucker gets backdoored, we will have the numbers with the alliance we formed. So we need to, like, tell him that and then make him know that Chelsea will also be a number with that if she stays. So Chelsea, T-Core, and Rubina have a conversation.
I'm down to vote a certain way. Okay. Or, yes, I'm going to have a conversation with her tonight as I help her back and just say, hey, she knows the house wants her out. It's very obvious. Mm-hmm. She feels that. And I'm going to have a conversation with her and say, hey, if the house is feeling, and I'm not going to make that decision.
Chelsea says, look, like, once again, she's telling them, if you're voting a certain way, let me know. I will vote that way. I will do anything. Like, please just let me know. Again, she has completely decided that she's going to hitch herself to their wagon, do whatever they want, and throw Brooklyn in the trash, okay? Now, she says, again, I have no final two with Brooklyn. I never made a final two with her. I don't have any final twos with anybody in this house. The only thing I had was the collective. I don't have anything else, blah, blah, blah. It's like, girl, you were in the core too. Remember that? Anyway, again, she's not sure what MJ wants. But she did say that when she talked to Joseph, he was kind of worried that she was coming after him. But, throughout their conversation, she hopes that she kind of changed his mind. So Chelsea and Brooklyn also have a conversation, and this is a conversation of lies. Chelsea is playing the ish out of Brooklyn, okay?
Tell me what's going on. And they're talking to each other in the house, so I have no idea what's going on. I feel like the best option is for you to have to win, because if it's me and Cam, I feel like I may be one of those.
At this point, remember, Chelsea is willing to vote Brooklyn out, but of course she is playing the game. She says, look, Rubina and T-Core, they pulled me in to ask me what was going on. When in reality, Chelsea asked them what was going on, obviously. She says, Chelsea here, she says the best option is for me to win because if it's me against anyone, I'm most likely going out. So yeah, I think I'm the target. And I'm like, she says if it's them two, Brooklyn is staying. If it's versus Cam, Cam is staying. Obviously, this is all lies, but she's just trying to make sure that Brooklyn is not aware of anything. And again, like I said, she just 100% turned on Brooklyn in like 30 seconds. Quinn and Joseph have a quick conversation while Joseph is showering, and Quinn is like, look, like, you need to be a little bit closer with Chemo and Tikor. Like, you do this thing where as soon as they come in the room and they're socializing just casually, you leave. And to them, that's not going to look that good. And other people have pointed that out as well, where Joseph, like, he doesn't really talk to anybody. He doesn't have casual conversation. He's not really building his social game. And I do think that's a big reason of why a lot of people are skeptical of Joseph, because it's not like he's not talking on like a one-to-one level with people. He only will ever try to talk game. And I think that makes a lot of people kind of sus on him, but Quinn's like, look, part of being aligned is also like just having conversations. He's like, I'm fine with it. Like, you do it to me too, but like, I'm cool with it because I know that we're tight and it doesn't matter, but they may not take it the same way. So Tikor, Chemo, and Leah also have a conversation, and they're having a chat about the vote. Leah is one person that yesterday a lot of people had no idea where her head was at. Tucker was talking about Leah. Tikor and Chemo were like, where is Leah at? And obviously, at this point, every vote is pertinent because you only need, I think, 5 votes, right, to get out. So they're really wondering where Leah's head is at. So Chemo is saying, look, like, after the conversation, he's saying, look, we need to be very careful of what we tell Leah because he thinks that she's working with Joseph, which not true. But again, those two have been talking a lot, so it looks that way, right? They think that Cam would understand if they keep Chelsea over him. And they say they're not aligned with Leah per se, but they are just voting together. And they assume that Leah is just going wherever the power is, which is true. Leah is a floater. Like, she's not playing the game. So those are like kind of the big conversations that happened yesterday. As I said, we have a lot more talk about exactly who is it going to be. This question of Chelsea versus Cam is really, really big because for Tucker, he wants Cam to stay. For Tikor, Chemo, and like more of that side of the house, they're okay with Chelsea staying. Because remember, Quinn also said he was willing to keep Chelsea in as well as Joseph. So all of these people, they are more on the Chelsea side, but then you don't know because people like Joseph also are working with Tucker. So he might decide to jump ship and want Cam in, and there are points where he has said he wanted Cam in. So it's just very confusing. And again, another vote where I don't fully know where it's going to lie. So let's get into a couple of things of note. So Quinn tells Tikor, like I just mentioned, that he is okay with following their lead and keeping Chelsea. Just let him know. He doesn't want to be in another flip. Tucker guaranteed Cam that he would stay if he's up. So Cam thinks he's 100% safe right now because Tucker's telling him that. And I think Tucker believes that, but again, little buzz went through. So Rubina tells Joseph they want Cam out because they think they can bring Chelsea over as a number. And that is the big thing to keep in mind. The reason why they want Chelsea is because they think Chelsea will work with the girls, whereas they're afraid that Cam would just go in line with the guys. So Leah still seems to want Chelsea to leave after the conversation, but Tikor and Chemo have tried to sway her otherwise, but Leah still kind of wants to keep Cam. And we know Leah's kind of on Love Island, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's because she still thinks Cam's kind of cute, okay? Now, Quinn is telling various people throughout the day that he saw Tucker and Rubina holding hands, which, not great. Obviously, showmans has become targets. But I will say, when I turned the feeds back on after getting a little sleep this morning at like 6 a.m. Eastern, they were in the bed making out. So those two have been all over each other yesterday. Now, Quinn and Joseph, they talk a little bit about Brooklyn and how they feel about her. They think that Brooklyn is terrible at the game, but she has some pull with people. Those two still seem to believe that Brooklyn has pull with the girls. I think Brooklyn's capital has gone down so much that is not the case. They think she has a decent social game. However, a lot of people trash talk her even in her own alliance, as we see this week. Ultimately, Tucker says, look, people can vote how they want to vote, but I want, Cam to stay. And he is definitely trying to sway his allies like Joseph, Tikor, Chemo, those kind of people that he's aligned with, Rubina, to want to keep Cam. But it doesn't really seem like it's going that way. So that is it, y'all. That is kind of where we are at in the house right now. Like I said, for the vote, I'm going to be honest. If Brooklyn's up, it looks like it's going to be Brooklyn. If it's Chelsea versus Cam, I do think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be very close because they do seemingly have the numbers to keep Chelsea, but you never really know. Flips happen all the time. Anyway, if you made it to this point of the video, that means you liked the video. So please help me to drum up engagement on the videos by liking, sharing, commenting on the videos. Share them with other people in your life that watch Big Brother. Also, please make sure that you are subscribed, okay? Turn that bell on so you know whenever I drop these recaps daily. Also, please make sure you are still subscribed because YouTube is doing that funny stuff. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of you so much, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye!